Pull the brake really hard?
Yeah, just pick your feet up.
Okay.
That's what it feels like.
Ah, it's Jules.
You're founder of XOTO.
Yeah. So I'm Tim Huntzinger, founder of Exodo.
Also the engineer. You're the designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do
One-stop
everything.
shop,
You do
I guess.
everything.
Well,
Business development. You do marketing. You do communications. You do
I've
brand
definitely
development.
learned which things I'm good at,
Okay.
which
All
things
right.
I'm not
All right.
good at.
So tell us what you're good at, Tim.
So what I'm good at is figuring out a problem
Yeah.
and then like working on it until I find the solution to the
Yeah,
problem. In
amazing.
this case, it was how do you make a two-wheeler safer? And
Add a
then it
third
was
wheel.
like, well, how do you make it feel like a two-wheeler even though it's not a two-wheeler?
Interesting. Okay, so that's the secret sauce.
Yeah. And then also, I don't talk about it a lot, but the front wheel drive makes a big deal too. So this is like the only front wheel drive motorcycle you can find in the market
and is that
anywhere.
how you classify this as a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Do you need a motorcycle license to drive it?
No. So that's kind of the cool thing.
Okay.
It doesn't need a motorcycle license because
Yeah.
it is self-stabilizing.
Sure. What would you say the youngest rider that you would want on this?
I think 15-year-olds with some training should be, but legally they're required to have a motorcycle license to ride this. So
interesting.
But
illegally they can do whatever they want.
You got all the liquor cycles out there that
That needs to be a new category for micromobility.
Don't
liquor cycles, yeah.
Don't have a driver's license, but are driving them on the road anyway.
Okay.
Like it's not legal anywhere.
Interesting.
But people still do it.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about the name XOTO.
Well, so the idea is like getting rid of your car. So on some trips, you can take this instead of your car.
So this blue is your blue.
So I have a custom blue and a custom greenish yellow.
And this is the greenish yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration?
I wanted it to be kind of modern, but also have that retro feel, which is the whole idea of the whole vehicle, right? With the headlight and everything. So I feel like
we should get some shots of this headlight.
You could throw on white wall tires and it would look cool, but also road tires and it still looks appropriate.
Great. Okay. Well, at some point we got to ride this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's locked, it's stable. If you're sitting on it.
Brake is locked when it's down or up?
When it's in, like this.
Okay.
So on a typical motorcycle, you're used to feeling like you have to stay really vertical. Don't do that because it'll feel like it won't lean. So you need to tell it you want to lean and just like lean in.
Wait, actually lean. Okay.
Pull the brake really hard?
Yeah, just pick your feet up.
Okay.
That's what it feels like. It's
Jules.
ease into it, and then don't feel like you have to go fast. Just lean deep.
Yep.
What do you think?
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can get into it, and then I can imagine.
Yeah, so then you pull that and lock it. It'll stay up. You don't have to worry about your standard. Nice work.
I feel like for this motorcycle in particular, you got to walk us through the specs.
Okay.
Like how fast does this go? Tell us the battery situation.
So 45 miles an hour. And the idea of that is on surface streets, you're faster than everybody else. Typical speed is about 35 miles an hour. So you're not the guy that's putting along at 30 miles, with bumper to bumper traffic honking at you. It has removable batteries and it's dual removable so that you can have one charging and just swap it out and never have to worry about the actual charge time. Charge time is around 4 hours. For any kind of rental use, like it's really important to not have to take the bike out of service to...
Interesting. So are you selling these to other businesses or are you selling them directly to consumers?
So we're doing direct to consumer right now. We're also setting up dealer networks. So, they will fit into that kind of typical motorsports, power sports model. But we are looking at rental models too. We know some of our customers are interested in renting these out in places like this.
Yeah.
And they'd be like
perfect for that, right?
Day rentals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and especially if you don't need a motorcycle license, you have a much broader audience to rent to.
Sure. Yeah. What's the ticket price of this? What's the cost?
$47.99.
What's a normal motorcycle? Like what would you...
Well, I mean, it depends on what you consider a normal motorcycle, right? Like, so, a typical Yamaha sport bike, it will run around 8 or 9. But then we're trying to fit into this market between like the high-end e-bikes and the low-end motorcycles.
Tell me more about that. Why are you trying to do that?
I feel like there's a great spot there where people are learning about e-bikes. They're learning about the benefits of being able to get around without a car.
Sure.
And so they're willing to spend more money because they actually know what they're worth and they know how to use it. But then they're not necessarily really interested in jumping onto a motorcycle. And then the utility of a motorcycle really isn't the same as what we're targeting.
I know.
We want to be able to like jump on and go to the grocery store and carry stuff.
Yeah, true. And a motorcycle just doesn't work that way.
No, you just have a backpack.
I know, and it looks pretty lame, and it's also very uncomfortable.
And e-bikes have the same problem.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out, like, is there a utility market that's a little bit.
So is your competitor like a cargo bike actually, but you're the cooler cargo bike?
I think we may. I mean, we've tried to avoid looking like a cargo vehicle.
You don't look like a cargo vehicle.
But we want to be able to get the utility of a cargo vehicle.
How about availability? Where do you go now to buy them?
They're available now on our website, XOTOinc.com.
Great.
And you can also do deposits if you're not ready to purchase right away.
Interesting.
And then we're building out our network of dealers, so you should be able to actually go and ride it and get it serviced the same as you would.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about this. If I was to purchase one today on the website, when would I get it?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
Only 4 weeks? That's pretty good. Well done, Tim.